Hey guys, Mr. B XRP here, and welcome back. Today is May 22nd of 2020. I have a bunch prepared for you today, but one of the things that I'm really excited about talking about is the missing piece of the puzzle that Ripple hasn't given us. I think that we are aware of 9/10 of the Ripple presentation to their prospects, but there is 1/10 that's missing, and I want to talk to you about it. And that's really going to be the crux of this video. But before we get to that, let's talk about some other things. So Bitcoin, let's look at the pricing: 91.76. Ethereum's at 203. Tether has overtaken XRP. Congratulations, Tether, you're amazing. And XRP is just over 20 cents. All right, moving on. This was posted on Twitter by Michael at VAL5Links, and you need to follow him on Twitter, guys. Compliments of XRP Arcade. Craig DeWitt, Ripple's Director of Products, has announced that he has joined the U.S. Faster Payments Council cross-border working group, representing Ripple with some, as he quoted, heavy hitters on the team. But who are they? So Craig DeWitt, very nice guy, met him at Swell. He went out of his way to meet the people, the XRP community people. Seems like a very, very genuine, really, really nice guy, and a young guy too. But looks like he's going to be a real winner. But this is great. I'm glad he's part of the task force, and looking forward to hearing more on that in the future. Michael also posted this. It said, experts in China and South Korea believe that China's digital yuan will likely be interoperable with e-pay solutions like WeChat Pay and Alibaba operated Alipay. Also, as well as a number of digital platforms used by major banks. So interoperability of that digital yuan. We know interoperability is going to be the key for all countries, and let's not forget that Ripple had put out, and it might have been in one of their Insight articles, that they had taken a meeting with people from China. So they may be involved, they may not be involved, but at the end of the day, we know that this is all going to be interoperable, and you are going to be able to send your US dollars to China, and China is going to receive digital yuan, which is exactly what they want. And that's the goal here, guys. That's why we're in this thing. All right, so this was posted on Twitter by Gordon Cole XRP. He's at Gordon Cole XRP, and this is really cool. It says this just popped up on my Schwab account front page, starting to look very interesting. So Schwab is offering fractional shares of stocks, which is great. Other people posted underneath that Fidelity's offering it, and Robinhood is offering it too. So what this allows people to do is it allows people to buy fractional shares of Apple, fractional shares of Amazon. I mean, if you can't afford a whole Amazon stock, which I don't know what it is today, it might be $1,800 or $2,000, whatever it is, at least you can buy a piece of one. So this allows investors who aren't big shots, small-time investors, to come in and invest in big companies. I mean, you could buy a fractional share, I would assume, of Berkshire Hathaway, which, I don't know, at one point was $250,000 a share. And if nothing else, it's a conversation piece that you own a piece of Berkshire Hathaway. But this is what this is allowing to happen. This is so good for the markets because it's going to bring in so many more smaller investors, and those smaller investors, their money adds up. So this is absolutely fantastic. And long term, what will really be neat is when these platforms, if they ever, and I would assume they will, integrate XRP, they will be able to make their on and off ramps so fast and so quick that people will be able to move in and out of things so easily, and not have to wait for their dollars to clear and all this crazy stuff, but people can move from their Apple to their Amazon, and it will just be fantastic. So we're moving in the right direction, but as everything else, guys, it takes time. You have to have patience. Okay, this is something the IMF made 2 posts this week that I think are just bizarre. So they did 2 polls on Twitter. First poll was, how many countries have expressed interest in emergency financing from the IMF to fight the current health situation? Why would they post this poll? Like, why? I mean, this isn't a game. I mean, we're playing a game here. Hey, guess how many people asked for our help? I mean, why are you posting this? It's one thing if they do a news article that says we've had as many as 150 countries express that they need help. That's one thing. But to do a poll like we're all going to guess like this is fun, it's bizarre to me. And that was on May 17th. On May 19th, they did another one. How many countries have received debt relief from the IMF so far? Here we go. Same stupid thing. Like, why are we doing these polls, IMF? It makes no sense to me. I mean, put it out as a news article. Put it out as a statement. Don't put it out as a poll. We don't want to guess. We don't want to play games. This is important stuff. I don't know why they think that that's poll worthy, but anyway, I had to get that out of my system. All right, so Peter Pumpkin Eater posted this, and you should follow him on Twitter. He's at Yes I Have Some. This was made by XRP, the Standard Productions. This guy's amazing. Follow him on Twitter. He's at XRP_productions. He just crossed 5,000 followers today. I'm sure he'd be glad to get another 1,000 or two if you guys don't mind following him, or however many people would follow him. And I never promote my own Twitter. I just forget to do it all the time. But if you're not following me on Twitter, guys, I'm at XRP Mister. Okay, so back to this. XRP in 2 minutes by XRP Productions. I want you to watch this. It's a 2-minute video that he put together, and I think it's fantastic. So just 2 minutes, guys. Hang in there.
XRP is a digital asset. Some say cryptocurrency, a digital medium of value exchange. Bitcoin was the first, 2009. Used cryptography and blockchain technology. No single computer or entity had control of the network. This was a breakthrough, a big one. Bitcoin caught on, but even people who loved it saw problems, big problems. Consumed too much energy, had trouble scaling without congesting the network. Enter some really smart guys in 2011. Wrote some new code, used the good aspects of Bitcoin, got rid of the bad. Smart guys were successful. XRP and XRP Ledger was born. What's so great about it? Massively more efficient. Needs a tiny fraction of Bitcoin's energy. Much faster transactions. 3 seconds, not hours or days. Incredibly inexpensive. Fractions of a penny to send no matter how large the amount. Scales greatly. 1,500 transactions per second compared to Bitcoin's 6. Open source. Anyone can download the software and run a node on the network. Decentralized. Nodes are run by unaffiliated independent people and entities all over the world. Has a built-in exchange. Anyone can use it to send any value as quickly and cheaply as XRP. At inception, 100 billion XRP was created. Listen carefully. There will never be any more. Never! It's baked into the protocol. After creating it, the inventors gifted a large portion to a company called Ripple. Ripple planned to use XRP as on-demand liquidity for cross-border settlement. Why? Look up Modern Nostro/Vostro settlement. It's slow, it's old, and it sucks. Ripple has over 200 bank and financial institution clients. Some are already using XRP for on-demand liquidity. Many others want to start using XRP. Heard of MoneyGram? Oh, of course you have. Other individuals and companies are also using XRP or are planning to. How? In exciting ways. Look up web monetization at Coil.com. Scooter Braun, Gaming with Forte, XRP Tipbot. With its attributes and the entities building out its ecosystem. XRP's utility is growing every day and is expected to grow exponentially in the coming years. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the Internet of Value. Welcome to XRP.
Very cool. I'm really thankful that he made that, and I appreciate him sharing it with us, and I want you guys to see it. Okay, moving on. So this is what I really wanted to get to today, and sometimes I talk about things that I try to talk about things that a lot of other people don't talk about, but it's things that we're thinking about and things that we may be referring to, but we're not specifically talking about. And let me kind of explain. I think up to now, Ripple has done a great job explaining 9/10 of their presentation of what they do. But there's a 1/10 missing, and it's the most important 1/10. And here's what I mean. I'm a salesman. I've been a salesman for over 30 years. And any company that wants to sell their product to their prospect is going to go make a presentation. They're going to talk about the features and the benefits and all the reasons why that prospect needs their product. And they're going to wrap it up in a beautiful, tiny little box with a bow on top and make that proposition so appealing that potential customer is going to do business with them. So, which brings me to the presentation that Ripple makes to potential customers, banks, for instance, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what that presentation might look like and how I think it doesn't end, okay? Because there has to be an ending to the presentation, and you'll get what I'm talking about when we get there. So I'm going to use Ripple's website. I want to use their own words. I'm not going to make anything up here. We're just going to use their own words. So essentially, Ripple says, instantly move money to all corners of the world. Discover why 300 financial institutions choose RippleNet to find new customers in new markets, expand services, and deliver the best experience in global payments today. And it goes on. So this is about RippleNet. Global payments should be easy. Too often global payments are costly, unreliable, and slow. The underlying systems are fragmented and complex. RippleNet offers the most advanced blockchain technology for global payments, making it easy for financial institutions to reach a trusted, growing network of 300 plus providers across 40 countries and 6 continents. Fantastic. Exciting. Okay, we go on. Here's some of the features and benefits. Everywhere. Expand your reach by offering more places and ways to move money. Instant. Provide instant payments so money arrives when customers need it. Reliable. Build trust by increasing visibility and eliminating payment failures. Low cost. Capitalize on operational and cost efficiencies to further grow your business. Okay, so essentially they're saying instant payments so money arrives when customers need it, right? Which is still using the Nostro Vostro account system, but it's instant. Reliability, so we know that we've heard that Brad Garlinghouse say it himself that Swift's messaging system is like 93% accurate, so 7% of their messages are lost. So this says build trust by increasing visibility and eliminating payment failures, and they're going to save money, right? Low cost. So fantastic. So that's RippleNet, right? So essentially they're telling people, hey, if you're using Swift, we have a better Swift system. That's what RippleNet is. It's a better, cheaper Swift system. Fantastic. All right. So now I'm presenting this to you. You're my prospect. You're my banker that may want to move money. Now I tell you, but we also have another product. And we have another product that's called On-Demand Liquidity. You may have heard of it called XRapid in the past, but now we call it On-Demand Liquidity. We've repackaged it so that people understand what it's really all about. Well, let me tell you about On-Demand Liquidity, Mr. Banker. You can avoid pre-funding with instant settlement. And let me explain. International payments, especially in emerging markets, require businesses to hold pre-funded accounts in destination currencies. It's a costly endeavor that ties up resources. RippleNet provides an alternative. While any financial institution on the network enjoys reliable, instant, and lower cost transactions, those who use the digital asset XRP to source liquidity can do so in seconds, freeing up capital and guaranteeing the most comprehensive rates available today. Now, I'm going to go off script. I'm going to go off their website and go on to say what Brad Garlinghouse has said. Mr. Banker, you and all your banker friends can bring their $27 trillion of Nostro money back home to use any way you want, because you no longer have to have it there in all the countries, in the 180 countries that you actually have these accounts, okay? And I would go on to their website. You'll have a 40 to 60% cost savings. It takes 3 seconds for total settlement, and you can do these payments 24/7, 365 days a year. Wow, holy smokes. Now, if you present RippleNet to a banker and then you talk about ODL, obviously they're going to go, wow, this ODL thing is amazing. I want to bring my money back home. I want to bring my Nostro money back home. This is fantastic. Here's where the glitch is. The glitch is this. There's no way this presentation ends with the Ripple representative saying, but Mr. Banker, here's the problem. We don't have enough liquidity in the system, and the value of XRP isn't high enough for us to move large volumes of money. So we're just going to sit back and wait and hope that there's a bull run someday that drives up the value of XRP to that perfect number so that you and all of our other customers can start sending their money around the world. Sorry, guys, it doesn't end that way. There's no way that's the presentation, okay? There's no way it happens. So I actually went to Swell last year, and just so you guys, and I had a chance to talk to David Schwartz, and I asked him this specific question, and I'm going to tell you what he said. But before I tell you, I want you to know something about that trip. It was a 25-hour flight. I was a mess, an absolute mess. My feet blew up so big they couldn't fit in my shoes. I had to literally walk around the plane every hour just to keep from swelling up. It was insane. We landed, and then we had like 6 hours before we were going to have our big meeting with David Schwartz and the whole dinner affair that they put on for us. But by the time we landed, I mean, it was unbelievable what that flight does to you physically, and the times are off and everything else. But I feel so lucky that for whatever reason, the moment that I got to meet David Schwartz, I had absolute clarity. My brain was straight. Everything was good. I was able to ask him every question I wanted to that I thought he might answer. And this was one of them. So I said to David, David, I'm a salesman. I've been a salesman my whole life. I told him I was in real estate, and he said, I'm so sorry, which I thought was hilarious. But I said, look, here's the thing. there's no way that you guys do your Ripple presentation and it ends with, and if there's ever a bull run, we'll have enough liquidity in the system and you guys will be able to use ODL. It just can't end that way, David. Tell me about, how does the presentation end? And in perfect David Schwartz form, he gives me the following answer. He says, that's the biggest challenge, is controlling the expectations of the customer. So the point is, he didn't answer my question. Now, I went on to ask him about the rising value of XRP, and you guys may have heard me say this in other videos. For those who haven't, I'm going to give it to you right now. I said to David, there's two schools of thought. The first school of thought is that the price is going to rise slowly over a long period of time because of small payments being made, and the other school of thought is there's going to be a mass adoption take place. Everybody's going to get off the bench at the same time, and it's going to drive the value of XRP. And David looked at me and said, well, here's the problem with the slow and steady scenario. He said, if the price moves slow and steady, investors will take notice and they will buy it up, and it won't stay slow and steady for long. So he certainly just didn't agree with slow and steady, that was for sure. But my point of this video is that there is that missing piece of the puzzle. The missing piece of the puzzle is how are these bankers, why are these bankers being so patient waiting? How is it, do you really think they don't know how and when they're going to be able to use ODL? I mean, how do you present this product to them and say, hey, we'll get back with you when we can finally use this thing? I don't believe that happens. I think NDAs are for a reason. I think that 800 bankers went to swallow last year for a reason. And they all know what's going on. They're all on the inside track. I'm not, guys. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to work. I know a lot of people are frustrated. It frustrates me, but I'm so comfortable in my investment and where I think XRP is going that I'm okay with it. I mean, I've said this many times. You guys have heard me say this, and I'll say it again. I'm holding my XRP to hero or zero, period. That money is gone. That investment is made. I will leave my XRP to my grandkids, and my kids don't even have kids yet, okay? I'm holding it because I think that XRP is actually bigger than Ripple. Much, much bigger than Ripple, but we will see in time. But that's what I think the missing piece of the puzzle is. Some people think it's regulatory clarity. Some people think the regulatory clarity is already done, but they haven't announced it. I've even heard people tell me the regulatory clarity is perfectly fine right now for the banks to start using XRP if the value was there, liquidity was there, because look, MoneyGram's already using it. So we're just not getting that clarity of that last piece of the puzzle, which is what needs to happen to get the banks off the bench and start actually using XRP. I mean, how is that price going to move to get them there? And I know people are frustrated, but either you believe in this or you don't. So you need to believe in your investment. But I'm hoping that we're going to get clarity in the future. I know that everybody wants it, but that is the singular piece that's missing. And I wanted to share my thoughts with you today. I know that a lot of people don't really dig into this and talk about the overview of stuff like this, and I wanted to share it with you. Okay, so enough of that. My last thing today is positive thinking can actually help you increase your lifespan, strengthen your immune system, and lower your rates of depression. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a medical coding expert, and I'm not a crypto expert. These are my opinions only. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. I wanted to thank everybody who has been subscribing to me, to my channel. I just crossed 13,000 subscribers. It's fascinating to me. I've had more views on some videos this week than I have subscribers, which blows me away. If you haven't subscribed, please give me a subscribe, and everyone have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.